Good morning, Year 7s. Right, my lovelies, you have done so awesomely on the last homework. I've been so impressed, almost the most impressed I've been this entire year to see what progress we made on this equations unit, on the balance method, which we've been practicing for the last two lessons. But my word, you've made awesome improvement. So yeah, basically, you guys remember at the very first lesson that we did this thing, I said that about a third of you had absolutely clobbered it in the very first go. A third of you kind of maybe missed a step or two here or there, and a third of you weren't quite sure. I would say that in the course of only one lesson online, just one YouTube video, all of you guys, well, most of you guys, 80% of you, are now absolute masters at this. So from a third all the way to 80%, by golly, we've learned a lot. So yeah, awesome work. I just wanted to tell you that. That's fantastic work. Good work, Super 7s. Cool. So today what we're going to do then is we're going to close that gap, that 80% gap. I want every single one of us to be absolutely ace now, okay, buddies? So the thing is, if you're not 100% sure on this, you 100% will be 100% sure at the end of this lesson. So here we go. Today's video is very short, and today's lesson is just a practice worksheet, okay? We'll keep going next week. We'll get a little bit harder next week, but for now, I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So yeah, here we go. This worksheet this week is just going to look like this, okay? It's just a whole bunch of questions. There's a whole bunch of them. Here we go. Scroll up, scroll down. It all just looks just like that, and that's your worksheet. Now, here is the way it works. I've done a perfect example for you here, exactly the way that I'd like you to work it out. So here's a perfect balance method. So just in case you're still not all the way sure, I'm going to make sure you are sure. The original question was 5x take away 4 equals 21. Now, you guys knew that the 5 and the x were together, they're protected. So many of you will be choosing to do it the way that I showed you, to put the 5 and the x in a square to protect them. Now, because you're getting a bit good at it, I won't insist on that anymore. You don't have to put the 5 and the x in a green square like I did, but if you'd like to, it's cool. It does show that you've protected them, you've kept them safe. So if you'd like to put them in a square, that's cool. If you don't want to, that's also cool. Now, it was 5x take 4. Step 1, you do a plus 4. If you do the plus 4, the reason why we did that was it gets rid of the minus 4. Plus 4 to both sides. It's balanced. That's why it's called the balance method. That leaves you on the left-hand side with just 5x here in the blue. Now that equals 25 because 21 plus 4 is 25. That's step 1. Step 2, buddies, is we need to get rid of the 5 that's touching the x. The 5's attached by times. So to get rid of something attached by times, what we're going to do is we are going to divide. So over 5, and that leaves you with an answer of x equals 5. Now I know that you guys are really good at that already, so I don't want to labor it too much. I'll just leave it at that. But I'm going to show you how this worksheet works. Essentially, all of these questions here are going to be coming in a group of 3. Now, those of you who are quite clever may have already looked at slide 2 where the answers are, but I'm going to provide that to you anyway. These questions come in groups of 3. So there'll be 2 other questions that have an answer of x equals 5. All I need you to do is color the ones that are the same answer, the same color. So here we go. X equals 5 is the answer to this one. Now if you skip down, let's just say I hadn't strategically put a blue dot there. Let's just pick any old random question. This one, for instance. I don't know how I've chosen this question, but let's just say, for instance, I've chosen this question to do next, just out of sheer luck. Well, if I was going to work this one out, here's what I'd say. There is 3x plus 2 equals 17. Step 1 is I want the x's by themselves. So step 1 is to take away 2 from both sides. Take 2, take 2. On the left-hand side, I'm left with 3x. Could be in a square if you wanted it to be. And on this side, 17 take away 2, well, that's 15. Cool, that's step 1. Step 2 then, lovelies, is it's 3 lots of x. So it's 3 times x. What's the opposite of times 3, buddies? Well, of course, it's divide 3. And that's why we use these fractional division lines, okay? So it is really important that we're showing it as a fraction. Only just now a few of you are using the division. Ooh, dear, I don't know what that is. Okay, only just a few of you right now are still using the division symbol. try to avoid it. It looks really pretty. It looks really nice and mathematical when we actually use these division lines. So again, about 80% of you are on board with this, but if you're not quite on board, keep listening. Now, here's the thing. Once you've got timesing by 3 and dividing by 3 on the bottom, that's as though you've done nothing at all to x. Because say, for instance, that your x happened to be, I don't know, 5 in this case. Well, 5 times 3 is 15, but then if you divided it by 3, well, it's back to 5. So essentially, these 3's are doing nothing at all. So you get to do the wonderful sound effect. Cancel them out. What's left on the left, buddies? Well, just the x. What's left on the right? Well, 15 divided by 3, that makes 5. And that is our final answer. Now, I don't know if you spotted, and certainly I would never plan ahead to make this work out, like strategically or anything, but I don't know if you spotted it, but actually the answer to the first question was 5 as well. That means these two guys here, my buddies, are a match. So all you got to do is, all you got to do then is to choose, or to, oh dear, how do I fix this then, buddies? Okay, oh, there it is. Okay, so all you got to do then, guys, is color this square the same color as this square. And that just shows you've got your little match there, and that's the final answer. The answer to this sheet then, my buddies, is, or what I'd like to see for this sheet then, I mean, my buddies, is this. Each one has got 3 matches, okay? So I'm just going to pop to the answer really quick. And if you check it out, can you see that there's 1, 2, 3 yellow ones, okay? It's because those are the 3 that had an answer of x equals 5. Now, what I need you guys to do, though, is it is, again, critically important that you're showing me the steps perfectly, mathematically, looking beautiful. I rewrote this slide, I rewrote this worksheet so that there would be room for you to fill in the answers underneath and the steps. So I don't want you to squeeze anything in. The steps have to be written down vertically, so it should look just like our example here, just like this one here. So I'm looking for 1 step with the +4 on both sides, 1 step showing the division, and 1 step saying what the final answer is, okay? It shouldn't take you very long, and that's pretty much it for today's lesson. I just thought we could use a little bit more practice before our very last week of school. So keep up the fantastic work, Super 7s. I was so happy marking your work this week because I had to correct a lot of work last week, but this week you guys seem to have really turned the corner here, really understanding equations, and that made me really happy. So hopefully this should be no problem for you. If you're still a little bit stuck, just as always, just like you have been doing, send me a couple questions in the comments and I will be sure to answer them. So keep up the work, awesome 7s. That's it from me, and bye, buddies. Bye.